Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something that, wow, affects so many people. Sleeplessness, or insomnia. We got a whole stack of sources from you all about understanding it, treating it. It's quite a complex topic.
Absolutely. And our mission today really is to get a solid handle on what insomnia disorder actually is. Figure out when just having a few bad nights crosses over into something more serious, chronic, and crucially, what the sources say about how to effectively deal with it.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. Because before we even get into the how or why, the sheer scale, it's kind of mind-blowing. We're talking insomnia symptoms, trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, affecting up to, what, 30% of everyone?
30%. It's huge. Think about that. Almost 1 in every 3 people you might interact with is struggling with sleep in some way.
And then there's the kicker you pulled out. 1 in 3 of those people actually have chronic insomnia.
Exactly. And that's the really alarming part. It means it's not just, oh, I didn't sleep well last night. It's persistent. It's impacting millions day after day, month after month. It affects performance, mood. It's a major public health issue, really.
That number really does frame the conversation. So, okay, let's define our terms. We all know what a rough night feels like, right?
Yeah.
Maybe too much stress, late coffee. But when does that become, clinical insomnia disorder?
That's the critical distinction. Insomnia disorder isn't just episodic like a bad week. It's systemic. It means you're having trouble initiating sleep, or you're waking up a lot, or waking up way too early and can't get back to sleep, or some mix of those.
And it has to be happening for a while, not just occasionally.
Right. The sources are pretty clear on this. The symptoms need to be continuous for at least 3 months. That's the threshold. And, this is key, they had to significantly mess with your daily life.
So it's not just the bad sleep itself, it's the impact.
Precisely. If you can't function properly at work, or you're struggling with studies, if your social life tanks, if you're feeling those daytime consequences consistently for 3 months or more, that's when it's considered a disorder needing real attention.
That 3-month mark, okay, that's important for people to keep in mind. Now, about those symptoms. The nighttime ones are obvious, the tossing and turning, waking up at 3 a.m. But you mentioned the sources really emphasize the daytime symptoms too.
Yes, and this is fascinating because we tend to think of insomnia as purely a nighttime problem. But if you actually meet the criteria for the disorder, the daytime fallout is guaranteed. You'll feel sleepy, drowsy, just exhausted.
Deep fatigue, not just being a bit tired.
Exactly. A real lack of freshness no matter how long you technically spent in bed. Low energy. And critically, your concentration just plummets. It really is a 24-hour condition hiding as an 8-hour problem.
Which naturally leads us to why. We know how common it is, but what's actually causing it. I thought it was interesting how the sources broke the causes down into, 4 main categories. Makes sense, right? It's probably rarely just one single thing.
That's spot on. And understanding these categories is vital for treatment because you often need to tackle issues in multiple areas, not just one. So category 1 is probably the most straightforward, environmental problems.
Right, the stuff around you, your bedroom, basically.
Yep. Light, noise from outside, maybe the temperature being off, too hot, too cold. The sources really hammer home, making your bedroom a kind of sleep sanctuary.
Temperature's a big one, isn't it? People often get that wrong.
They do. Optimal sleep usually happens in a slightly cool room, maybe 60 to 67 Fahrenheit for most adults. Too warm, and you're just not going to get that deep restorative sleep. And, don't forget the basics like a comfortable mattress or the right pillows. Even small discomforts can cause these tiny wake-ups you don't even remember.
Okay, easy wins, hopefully. Then category 2, physical health problems. This is stuff happening inside your body, right?
Exactly. Internal issues that disrupt sleep no matter how perfect your bedroom is. Think chronic pain, headaches, joint pain, even something like constant itching. Your brain's getting these signals that just prevent deep sleep.
And beyond pain.
Oh, yeah. Difficulty breathing, maybe needing to use the bathroom frequently, neurological conditions, allergies. And a big one is sleep-related breathing disorders, like sleep apnea. If you stop breathing multiple times an hour, you're constantly being jolted out of deep sleep. It's physically impossible to rest properly.
Makes sense. You can't just ignore a physical problem. Which brings us to category 3, mental health issues. This feels like a really tangled one.
It often is. Because things like stress, anxiety, depression, even bipolar disorder, they can be both a cause and a result of insomnia. It's often a vicious cycle.
How does that start? Everyday stress triggering it?
Often, yeah. Work stress, general anxiety. Your mind just won't switch off when you get into bed. Instead of relaxing, it starts running through worries, problems. Your brain stays too active for sleep.
So the anxiety stops you sleeping.
And then the lack of sleep makes the anxiety worse the next day.
Ugh, yeah, that feedback loop.
Exactly. And with more severe psychiatric conditions like depression, it can actually change your brain chemistry, messing with the neurotransmitters that regulate sleep. So until the underlying mental health issue is addressed, sleep can be really difficult.
Okay, and the last one, category 4. Inappropriate lifestyle behaviors. These are the habits, the choices we make.
Pretty much the self-inflicted stuff. Things like too much caffeine, especially late in the day. Or alcohol, people think it helps them sleep, but it actually disrupts sleep quality later in the night.
Caffeine's a tricky one. How late is too late?
Well, technically, caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in your brain. Adenosine builds up all day, making you feel sleepy. If you block those receptors too close to bedtime, your brain literally doesn't get the time to sleep signal properly. So definitely avoid it in the afternoon or evening.
And it's not just substances, right? It's about routine.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Irregular sleep schedules are a killer for your internal clock. Going to bed and waking up at wildly different times, especially on weekends, it's like giving yourself jet lag without traveling.
Uh-huh. And naps. I love a good nap.
Short naps can be okay, but excessive daytime napping, especially long ones late in the day, can reduce your sleep pressure, making it harder to fall asleep at night. Consistency is really key. Your body's circadian rhythm needs that regularity.
Okay, so those are the causes. Environmental, physical, mental, lifestyle. Quite a range. Now let's talk impact. Beyond just feeling groggy, what does chronic insomnia actually do to people long term?
The consequences are broad, hitting a few key areas. First, there's health and performance. Your work efficiency drops. Your cognitive function takes a hit. Memory, concentration.
Why memory specifically?
A lot of memory consolidation, where your brain processes and stores information from the day, actually happens during specific sleep stages. If you're not getting enough quality sleep, that process is impaired. So, yeah, memory suffers, concentration tanks.
And that probably affects social life too, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
If you're always tired, you're less likely to engage in social activities. Then there's the impact on mood and emotions. The sources talk about being easily irritable, feeling discouraged, general moodiness, even just feeling bored or flat because you lack the energy.
It really drains the life out of you, it sounds like.
It can, yeah. Which raises that fundamental point. Why do we need sleep so badly? It's not just downtime.
Right. What's actually going on when we sleep?
It's an incredibly active process. Think of it like your body's maintenance crew coming in overnight. Cells get repaired, organs recalibrate, hormones are balanced, your brain cleans itself out. It's essential for restoring physical and mental balance.
So if you don't get enough sleep consistently,
If chronic insomnia goes untreated for a long time, the sources warn it can actually contribute to developing other diseases, both physical illnesses and other mental health problems. It's not just a symptom you can ignore. It can become a root cause of further ill health.
that definitely adds some urgency. Okay, so let's pivot to treatment. The sources were really clear on this. You can't just do one thing. It has to be a combined approach.
Yes, absolutely. They lay out a kind of three-pillar strategy. You really need to work on all three together for the best chance of success with chronic insomnia.
Okay, pillar 1.
Pillar 1 is the bedrock, adjusting sleep behaviors, or what people often call good sleep hygiene. And while some of it sounds basic, nailing the details consistently is crucial when it's chronic.
Like the consistent bedtime, even on weekends, that seems tough but important.
Super important for resetting that body clock. Also, making the bedroom environment perfect, dark, quiet, cool. Avoiding caffeine and alcohol near bedtime. Getting regular exercise, but not too close to bed.
Any less obvious tips from the sources?
A big one is stimulus control. Don't just lie in bed awake and frustrated for hours. If you're not asleep after, say, 20 minutes, get up. Go somewhere else, keep the lights dim, do something quiet like reading a physical book, no screens, until you feel sleepy again, then go back to bed. The idea is to break the association of bed with anxiety and wakefulness.
Okay, that makes sense. Retraining the brain. What's pillar 2?
Pillar 2 tackles the mental side directly. Stress relaxation techniques. This is about actively calming the mind and body, especially since, as we discussed, anxiety is so often tangled up with chronic insomnia.
So it's not just hoping you feel relaxed, it's actually doing things to relax.
Exactly. You need to practice relaxation as a skill. The sources suggest things like specific breathing exercises designed to calm the nervous system, progressive muscle relaxation, meditation, or even just listening to calming music before bed. It's about intentionally shifting into a lower gear.
Makes sense. actively managing the stress component. And pillar 3.
Pillar 3 is medication treatment, and the key here is properly, under doctor's supervision only.
Right. This isn't about just popping pills indefinitely.
Not at all. The goal isn't long-term dependency. Sleep medication should be seen as a tool to help break the cycle of chronic sleeplessness, to help your body remember what normal sleep feels like. It helps restore the pattern.
And then, ideally, you don't need it anymore.
That's the aim. Once good sleep habits, relaxation techniques, and maybe addressing underlying issues have helped get your sleep back on track, the medication often becomes unnecessary. It's a bridge back to natural sleep, not the destination itself.
So 3 pillars: behavior, relaxation, and sometimes carefully used medication.
That's the multi-pronged approach the sources recommend. And the overarching message is, don't let insomnia just drag on. Good sleep is fundamental to good health. Letting symptoms persist makes it harder to fix and increases the risk of other problems.
So when should someone definitely seek help? Is there a specific point?
The sources give some clear flags. If your symptoms have lasted longer than 1 month notice, that's sooner than the 3-month definition for the disorder, it's a call for early action.
Okay, 1 month is a good trigger.
Yeah. Also, if you feel like you just can't get back to sleeping normally on your own, or if it's clearly impacting your daily life, your work, your studies, your mood, then it's really time to consult a specialist doctor. Don't wait.
Get professional guidance, figure out the underlying causes, and get a proper treatment plan.
Exactly. Early intervention can prevent that downward spiral and address what's really going on, whether it's physical, mental, or behavioral patterns.
Makes total sense. Okay, so as we wrap up, here's something to think about, building on what we've discussed. We talked about how stress relaxation is crucial because anxiety is so often part of chronic insomnia, both causing it and being made worse by it.
Right, that tangled relationship.
So here's the question for you to mull over. If anxiety is both a trigger and a consequence, what might happen if someone prioritized treating the anxiety first, say through therapy or specific anxiety medication, before even focusing heavily on the sleep hygiene or sleep meds? Could hitting the anxiety head-on potentially speed up the whole recovery process compared to just treating the sleep symptoms? Something to consider. Until next time, keep digging deep.